Hey y'all, happy Easter evening. I know usually when we think about Resurrection Day, we celebrate in the morning. But today, I've been thinking about what happened that first evening. In John chapter 20, it says, on the first day of the week, early in the morning, while it was still dark, Mary Magdalene found that the tomb into which Jesus' body had been placed was empty. She was panic stricken, and so she ran to tell two of the male disciples what she had discovered. And they came and inspected for themselves and went back home bewildered. It was after they left that, verse 11, Mary had the very first encounter with the resurrected Jesus. Could you imagine that? Just 3 days earlier, Mary had watched Jesus die, naked and battered and bloodied on a Roman crucifix. But there on that Sunday, he stood before her, telling her, verse 17, to go and inform the other disciples of her encounter with him. And she obeyed quickly. Verse 18 says that she went to them with the news, I have seen the Lord. And I've been thinking today about the words of a German theologian who asserted, without women preachers, we would have no knowledge of the resurrection. And John chapter 20, verse 19 picks up. It says, on the evening of that first day of the week, the disciples were together with the doors locked for fear of the Jewish leaders. They were afraid, and they were hiding from those who wished to do them harm. They were probably emotional wrecks. They'd been traumatized by watching their teacher, their Lord, a perfect man, stripped naked and beaten and hung from a cross until he was dead. Everything they had put their hope in seemed to have been taken away by corrupt priests partnered with politicians. But then, in the midst of that chaos and confusion and grief, they sensed someone else in the room. Someone else in the room with a familiar voice. Someone else in the room with a familiar accent. Someone else in the room with a familiar greeting. Shalom Aleichem. Peace. 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 Of all the things they needed to hear from their master, it was that word, peace. They knew that voice, and they knew that greeting, and they knew that word. In John chapter 14, verse 27, Jesus said to them, peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. Man, that's an important word today, isn't it? Peace. Everything has changed before our eyes. Thousands of people dying every day around the world. Peace. We're at home and we're told to leave is dangerous for us and for our neighbors. Peace. Some of us feel like we've lost everything. Family members, jobs. Peace. Neither politicians nor priests know what to do. They are equally inept. Peace. I have to admit to you, these days have taken a toll on my soul. I've been exhausted. I've been sad, maybe even anxious and afraid. Not even Easter morning felt right to me. And so I'm leaning into Easter evening and the knowledge that someone else is in the room. And that someone is speaking peace. 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 Peace.
In the end, when death has come and Satan life is lived beyond the years, no longer in death's swing. When time is over, these bodies worn, and we all shed this skin. This is how it ends. Love wins. We will stand before God's throne, judged by the things we've done. Then in His mercy, pardoned if we were known by His Son. Then enter in the blessed rest for every victor crowned. This is how it ends. Love wins. Death is dead, sin defeated. See what love has done. Our story then will be complete because our God has won. Is won. Behold, the Son of God will stand before His beloved. Those ransomed, delivered, rescued, and purchased by His precious blood. They will rise to sing redemption song for all eternity. Oh, this is how it ends. Love wins. Death is dead, sin defeated. See what love has done. Every eye will be wiped dry because our God has won. Death is dead, sin defeated. See what love has done. Our story now, it is complete because our God has won.